In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to generate sys packages dynamically. Now, this technique uses principally two components, the first being DynamicSQL, the second being BiML, which is an XML markup language that can be acquired by downloading BIDS. BIDS is available for free on Codeplex. If you download and install that, then you have access to BiML, and that's the only additional requirement that is needed to do this. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I will be using the AdventureWorks DW database, and I will demonstrate how to generate sys packages dynamically based on all the tables or for all the tables in the AdventureWorks DW database. So before I do that, I want to explain the distinction between T-SQL and DynamicSQL. T-SQL can be used to generate DML or data manipulation, which involves selects, updates, deletes, that kind of thing, or also DDLs, creating tables, indexes, views. All those things can be scripted out and executed, and those scripts are just regular plain old SQL. So like this select top 100 from AdventureWorks DW dim accounts, I can execute this, and boom, nothing real spectacular here. I get the first 100 rows back from that table. Now DynamicSQL, I've taken the select statement from above and I've wrapped another select statement around it. And here's my first select statement, select top 100 from AdventureWorks DW, and DBO dot name, where the table name would go, I'm going to get that dynamically from the sys objects, where the type is equal to U or user-defined table. So I'm going to substitute in the table name there. If I run this, now you can see that I have, instead of returning top 100 rows, I have now actually created select statements for every table in the AdventureWorks DW database. So I'm going to use the same technique to generate BiML, which will be used to generate sys packages for every table. So if I go down here to my DynamicSys integration services, I'm going to be using AdventureWorks DW again. I'm going to have a select again. I'm going to have a column name code that will hold this BiML code. I have the begin tag. Now all the BiML is clearly documented in BIDS. When you use BiML, you can look at the documentation and it's all explained. I'm not going to go through it all. But for connections, I'm going to define one connection manager for all the packages. And then this part, my begin packages tag, is where I'm going to create all the packages I need for my tables. So again, I'll be using sys objects, user-defined tables, and for the package name, I'm going to dynamically substitute in the table name. For a data flow, again, I'm going to put in DFT underscore table name. For OLDB source, again, for the source, I put in the table name. For the direct input, for the SQL statement for the source, it's going to be DynamicSQL, as demonstrated before. I'm putting in the table name in the from. And then it's going to go directly to a multicast, and that's going to complete my transformations, my data flow, and my tasks, and packages. So there are the end tags right there. And if I execute this guy, I have now created, here's the header, but now I have created package BiML definitions for every table in my AdventureWorks DW database. So account, currency, customer, etc. So I can take this code, I simply copy it, and I go in here. Here's a brand new integration services project. It comes with a default and empty package. So I can simply right click. Because I've installed BIDS, I can click on add new BiML file. So I add a blank script file, like so. You can see it's blank, there's nothing there. I simply paste in what I generated in Management Studio there dynamically, and it's exactly the same thing. So I Click Save. And now I can right-click the BiML file and click on Generate Sys Packages. And this is when the magic happens. As you can see, it has generated sys packages for every table in my AdvanceWorks DW database. So if I pick one, all these are going to be structured exactly the same. If you notice, the fact sales quota is the table name underscore test, a DFT underscore table name. Here's my OLDB source, again, SRC underscore table name. And then my SQL command here, again, exactly the same thing, dynamically substituted in the table name. So, and if you can tell, the metadata then of course is carried out throughout the package. Just like if you were building out the package manually, employee key, time key, etc. So if I run this guy, it runs and goes into multicast, and that's it. It's a very simple example. But the very powerful part is that I've done this, again, for every table in my AdvanceWorks database, and then you can have this not only generate based off of sys objects, but off of some sort of metadata table where you want to define the tables, a subset of the tables that you want to generate packages for, and embed logic into that. So that is all that I have for this video. I hope you enjoy it. It's been a very powerful technique and something that I've leveraged a lot to really speed up my sys package development. Thank you very much.